You're watching the Weather Network in Southern Ontario. I'm Nicole Karkic. For Storm Hunters 2013, Jacqueline Whittle, meteorologist, and storm hunter Mark Robinson have been traveling through the southern U.S. and they've seen already. He's holding his jacket. He didn't even need it. It got so warm. Now through the overnight, expect clear skies across southern Ontario. Heading into Friday morning, you'll still see that sunshine all across the board, and we get into some northerly winds. The high in Toronto will be 15. Now on tonight's episode of Angry Planet, if you were a weather lover and storm chaser, trying to tie the knot the old-fashioned way might not make the cut. Coming up, find out how George Karunis said, "I do." Coming up on the program, we have our 5th episode of Angry Planet featured tonight. And if you've missed any past episodes, you can always find them on our website, theweathernetwork.com. But let's first talk about your weather forecast here in southern Ontario. All right, hanging out outside today, a tough assignment for Kasha. Now, through the overnight hours, we're going to see clear conditions. The winds will develop into a northerly component for you tomorrow, but we're still going to see sunshine across many areas all through the province of Ontario. So if you're headed towards cottage country and through Friday, conditions are looking nice and clear, although if you jump in the water, I'm sure it's going to be freezing. Now, the daytime high in Toronto for Friday afternoon will reach about 18 degrees, so a little bit cooler than today, but not too bad. The winds tomorrow won't be as strong as this. This is the peak wind gust we experienced. Peterborough close to 70 kilometers an hour. Generally, these winds were out of the west. Muskoka close to 46 kilometers an hour there. Now, for tomorrow, the wind speeds in Toronto are going to be sustained between 5 to maybe 10 kilometers an hour. And for Friday's high, about 16 degrees. Saturday, 15. And then heading into this long weekend, not too bad. But on Monday, we do have a slight chance of seeing showers, so maybe you can fit in those fireworks for Sunday evening, and then extended long range, more rain. On tonight's episode of Angry Planet, if you are a weather lover and storm chaser, tying the knot the old-fashioned way might not make the cut. Coming up, find out where George Karunis decided to say, "I do."
This weather segment has been brought to you by the creamy, tangy taste of Miracle Whip spread. Miracle Whip, make your sandwich.
Keep it locked right here at the Weather Network, because in less than 60 seconds from right now, we air our 5th installment of Angry Planet. And if you've missed any episodes, you can catch them on our website, theweathernetwork.com. But first, a quick weather forecast for you, our viewers. It's an hour, but the temperatures, not too bad. It was a big contrast between Tuesday and Wednesday temperature-wise. Remember Tuesday when it was freezing outside? Well, Oshawa reached 12 degrees, and then on Wednesday we bumped up to 24.9. And for today, we're looking pretty good as well. And the long-range forecast looking good. On tonight's episode of Angry Planet, if you were a weather lover and a storm chaser, tying the knot the old-fashioned way might not make the cut. Coming up, find out where George Karunis decided to say, "I do." Stay tuned for our 5th installment of Angry Planet, featured tonight in less than 60 seconds from right now. But first, we'll look at your weather forecast before we get you there. Here in southern Ontario, conditions were gorgeous to the May long weekend here. It looks good on Friday if you're traveling. We're going to see clear skies to start your Friday morning. The high in Toronto will be closer to about 18 degrees into the afternoon. It's a few degrees cooler than today, but rolling into Saturday, we'll see sunshine again. On tonight's episode of Angry Planet, if you were a weather lover and storm chaser, tying the knot the old-fashioned way might not make the cut. Coming up, find out where George Karunis decided to say, "I do." That's next. Coming up in less than 60 seconds, we have our 5th episode of Angry Planet tonight. And if you've missed any episodes, log on to our website, theweathernetwork.com. But before we get you to the feature presentation, let's look at a quick weather forecast for you. The winds won't be as strong heading into tomorrow. In fact, for the Greater Toronto Area, they're sustained between 5 to 10 kilometers an hour with a northerly component. It's a westerly component with those winds, and these were the peak wind gusts earlier today. Now, on tonight's episode of Angry Planet, if you were a weather lover and storm chaser, tying the knot the old-fashioned way may not make the cut. Coming up, find out how George Karunis decided to say, "I do," next.